Welcome to Scoot on the Air YouTube channel. I'm Scoot. Glad you're with me. Hey, on my radio show today on WWL, I had a really interesting conversation about the controversy with Saturday Night Live this past week, with the guest host, billionaire Elon Musk, and musical talent Miley Cyrus. Interestingly, Miley Cyrus was not the controversy. She has been in the past, but she wasn't the controversy this time. So Michael Shea was condemned for writing this skit called Gen Z Hospital. And essentially the skit involved, well, they were, adult cast members, but they were supposed to be white millennials. No, actually white Zoomers. And that's white Zoomers that were communicating with the doctor, Elon Musk, by using a lot of black slang that is common in the black community. And so there were people who criticized Michael Shea for doing this, saying that he is appropriating from the black culture, that he's like taking something from the black culture by doing this. And I can't help but look at this from the perspective of this being a comedy skit. Now, I saw this Saturday night, and I honestly, I didn't get the skit. I didn't get the comments from the Zoomers. And here are some of the words. And by the way, when we're talking about black slang common to the black community, we're not talking about the N word. Okay, that's not even part of this at all. That's in a whole different category. But words like bestie, go off king, sis, bro, pressured, and cringe. And so we talked about this on the show today, and I got some definition here from my producer, Ian Hoke, and also from somebody who called the show. Well, bro and sis, I mean, those are obvious ones. Bro, short for brother, sis, short for sister. But see, I didn't get the bit because I'm not Gen Z. I mean, I try to be in touch with all the generations, but I didn't get it. Now, if I had known, and the other thing that I didn't know was that these were slang terms common to the black community. So I didn't get it. If I would have known that, it might have been humorous to me seeing these white Gen Z kids using all this black slang. That might have been funny to me. So I think it was done in the name of humor. And by the way, Michael Shea, he's on Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live, and he's also a writer. He's also black. So bestie is like, hey, man, you're my bestie. Like a good friend, close friend. She's my bestie. He's my bestie. Pressed is in reference to kind of being in a hurry or under the gun. I probably shouldn't have used gun there, but under the gun to get things done. Like on my radio show, I might be, I'm pressed. I got to get to a commercial break. I'm really pressed here. That means I'm running out of time, and I got to get to the commercial break. Cringe, well, that's obvious. The things make you cringe. Go off king was interesting. Go off king. It's kind of like something that you would say if somebody said something that is just like really ridiculous. It's almost like whatever. It's kind of like go off king. Say what you want to say, but it was ridiculous what you said. But here's the question. Is this inappropriate cultural appropriation? Is this stealing from the black community? I see it as a compliment to the black community. I see it as saying, hey, guess what? We recognize you. Like you're saying things that we want to imitate. It's almost like saying, we wish we were that cool. We're not. So we want to be that cool. So we're going to use your slang. I mean, that's the way I see it. I don't think there's any malicious intent here whatsoever. But again, with everything in life, there can be intent, and then there's the reception, how something is received. And you and I can see the same thing, hear the same thing, but have a completely different impression of it. And this comes up once in a while with music. It comes up once in a while with style, fashion. And more recently, there was a story in the news that I talked about concerning a white guy. Oh, I know. It was Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber has a new hairstyle. It's dreadlocks. And so there was criticism of Justin Bieber for wearing the dreadlocks because that is appropriating Black style and Black fashion. And some people see that as inappropriate. I see it as a compliment. I see it as like, hey, man, that hair is so freaking cool. I want to do it. And, there are African American females who wear blonde wigs. But I think it's really about how you see something and not being overly sensitive and appreciating the fact that your culture is appreciated. Your culture is part of mainstream America. And I know there's been some criticism over the years of, all of the British invasion groups, the Beatles, the Stones, a lot of these groups, they had some of their biggest hits were R&B songs from America. I was a white kid growing up in the suburbs of New Orleans. I thought the Beatles wrote Roll Over Beethoven. I thought the Beatles wrote Twist and Shout. I thought the Beatles wrote, oh God, what? Please, Mr. Postman. No, these were all R&B hits that the Beatles saw the wisdom in our R&B music, and they introduced R&B songs to many of us that were not exposed to those songs. It was the ultimate compliment. I thought the Beatles wrote Long Tall Sally. No, it was Little Richard. But how is that not a compliment? How is cultural appropriation really not cultural appreciation? And so look, the bit on Saturday Night Live, I didn't think it was funny. But that's not what this is about. It's about whether or not it's appropriate in a comedy skit for white characters to use slang that is common in the Black community. I think it's really just a way of blending us together. It's a coming together. And again, I think instead of cultural appropriation, I see it as cultural appreciation. Thank you for joining me here on the Scoot on the Air YouTube channel. And you can hang out with me on my radio show on WWL. And if you don't have the app, download the app Odyssey, Audacy, and type in WWL. And I'm on 1 to 4 Central Time, Monday through Friday in the afternoon. And tomorrow it is Free for All Friday. So thanks for joining me here on Scoot on the Air YouTube.